Yung icing ng Happy Pitogi birthday, Amara, ay nagmistulang luha na humahalo sa rumaragasang ulan. Isang oras pa lang ang nakakalipas mula nang isinara ni Jerome ang pinto, hindi para bumili ng dagdag na yelo o soft drinks para sa handa, kundi para tuluyan ng iwan sila. Nasa labas ang cake. Itinapon. Sa mismong kaarawan ng anak nila. Nanginginig ang mga kamay ni Helena habang pinupulot ang basang karton ng cake mula sa maputik na lupa sa tapat ng kanilang munting bahay. Jerome, she whispered, the name it bitter taste on her tongue, lost in the howl of the wind and the relentless drumming of rain on their yarrow roof. Hayop ka. Hindi niya napigilang mapahagulgol. The sobs racked her body, each one a fresh wave of pain. Galit. Lungkot. Pagkakanulo. All swirled together, as chaotic as the storm raging around Isla Estrella. Paano niya nagawa to? Sa anak pa nila? Mama! Mama, bakit po kayo umiiyak? Napatigil si Helena. Si Alon, ang panganay niya, kakambal ni Amara, nakasilip mula sa medyo nakaawang na pinto, ang mga mata ay puno ng pag-aalala. 7 years old pa lang, pero parang ang tanda na ng tingin. Sa likod nito, si Amara, a tear already tracing the path down her cheek, clutching a worn-out teddy bear. Anak, wala to. Helena tried to smile, but it felt more like grimace. Pumasok na kayo, malakas ang ulan. She quickly wiped her tears with the back of her hand, smearing dirt and rain and probably a bit of icing. Pero, Mama, yung cake. Si Papa po. Sabi niya babalik siya agad. Tanong ni Amara, ang boses nanginginig, hindi sigurado kung sa takot sa kulog o sa nakikitang pighati sa mukha ng ina. Papa. The word felt like a shard of glass in Helena's heart. Anong sasabihin niya? Na ang papa nila, ang hero nila, ay isa palang duwag? Na tinakbuhan sila, dala ang lahat ng naipon nila? Na-late lang siguro si papa niyo, baby, she managed, her voice hoarse. Halika, pasok na tayo. Malamig dito. Pinilit niyang akayin ang mga bata papasok. Ang sala nila, na kanina lang ay puno ng mumurahing lobo at papel na banderitas na sila-sila lang din ang gumawa, ngayon ay parang kuweba, madilim, malamig at malungkot. Yung pansit na niluto niya, lumalamig na sa mesa. Yung fried chicken, hindi na crispy. Mama, asa na po si Papa? Hindi pa po kami nagbiblo ng candle, ungol ni Amara, malapit ng humagulgol. Helena knelt, pulling both children into a tight hug. Mamaya na, anak, pag tumila na yung ulan. For now, let's just stay warm, okay? She could feel their small bodies trembling against hers. Naramdaman niya ang mabilis na tibok ng puso ni Alon, ang mahinang pagsinghot ni Amara. At sa mga sandaling iyon, sa gitna ng hagupit ng bagyo at ng sarili niyang nagwawasak na mundo, she knew she had to be strong. Para sa kanila. Pero paano? Her mind screamed. Paano ako magiging malakas kung pati ang pundasyon ko, winasak niya? Yung alkansya nila, yung pinag-ipunan nila para sana sa maliit na extension ng bahay, o kaya para sa field trip ng mga bata sa susunod na taon, wala na. Nung isang linggo pa niya napansin na paunti ng paunti ang laman, pero inisip niya, baka may pinagkakagastusan lang si Jerome para sa birthday ni Amara. Isang sorpresa. Isang malaking sorpresa nga. Ang sorpresa ay siya pala ang tinipid, ang tinanggalan, ang ninakawan. Mama, kakanta po ba tayo ng happy birthday? Alon asked, his voice small, muffled against her shoulder. Helena pulled back slightly, forcing another weak smile. Naman, anak. Siyempre. Special day ni Amara, Sally. She looked at Amara, whose eyes were still red. Gusto mo, kantahan ka na namin ni Kuya. Amara nodded slowly, her lower lip still quivering. So, they sang. Off-key, a little shaky, with the thunder providing an unwelcome bass drum accompaniment. Walang cake, walang kandila. Si Helena, pinipigilan ang panginginig ng boses. Si Alon, sinusubukang pasayahin ang kapatid. Si Amara, pumipikit, siguro nagwi-wish na sana, pagdilat niya, nandyan na ulit si Papa nila. After the song, a heavy silence descended, broken only by the storm. Mama, I'm cold, Amara whispered. Ako din po, dagdag ni Alon. Sige, kukuha lang si Mama ng kumot. She gently disentangled herself from them and walked towards their small silid. Bawat hakbang parang may tinik. Their room was cramped, just as double bed they all shared and a small wooden aparador where their few clothes were kept. Jerome's side of the closet was conspicuously empty. Hindi man lang nag-iwan ng kahit anong bakas, parang multo na naglaho. Pati yung paborito niyang lumang t-shirt na madalas niyang isuot pag matutulog, wala na rin. Talagang plinano niya too, the thought hit her with the force of a physical blow. Hindi ito bigla ang desisyon. Pinaghandaan. At ang pinakamasakit, pinili niya ang araw na ito. Ang kaarawan ng sarili niyang anak. Her gaze drifted to the small window. Through the rain-streaked glass, she saw a flash of white. Nakasampay pa rin sa labas yung luma niyang wedding dress. One of Jerome's distant aunts, seamstress, had made it for her. Simple lang, pero para sa kanya noon, it was the most beautiful dress in the world. Hindi niya na isusuot, pero inaalagaan niya. A reminder of happier times, of promises made. Now, it was being whipped mercilessly inside the wind, clinging to the kawayang sampayan for dear life. Then, with particularly strong gust, one strap snapped. The dress sagged, then twisted, its white fabric now streaked with mud, looking like defeated flag. It flapped once, twice, then a part of the laylayan caught on a rogue piece of yarrow from a neighbor's damaged roof, tearing it with a sickening sound that Helena somehow heard over the storm. Parang yun ang puso niya. Punit-punit. Dapurak. Bumalik siya sa sala dala ang makapal na kumot na bigay pa ng Mama Salve niya. Her mother, who ran a small sari-sari store few blocks away. Her mother, who had warned her about Jerome. Anak, mag-ingat ka dyan. Parang masyadong madulas, she'd said. Helena, blended GI what she thought was love, hadn't listened. She wrapped the blanket around Alon and Amara, pulling them close. Dito lang tayo, ha? Magkayakap lang tayo. Mama, babalik pa po ba si Papa? Amara asked, her voice barely audible. Helena closed her eyes. She couldn't lie to them. Not anymore. But she couldn't tell them the full, brutal truth either. Not yet. Hindi ko alam, anak, she whispered, her own voice thick with unshed tears. Hindi ko alam. The rain continued to pour, a merciless torrent washing away the last vestiges of her old life. Outside, the wind howled like a grieving beast. Inside their small, cold house, a mother and her two children clung to each other, the silence heavy with unspoken fears and the deafening sound of a heart breaking. Wala na si Jerome. At kasabay ng paglisan niya ay ang pagguho ng lahat ng pinangarap ni Helena para sa pamilya nila. Ang natira na lang ay ang galit na sumisiklab sa dibdib niya, at ang lungkot na parang malalim na balon na walang katapusan. Helena's see you. Lumipas ang mga araw na parang isang mahabang, walang katapusang gabi. Ang ulan ay tumila na, pero ang bigat sa dibdib ni Helena ay parang bagyo pa ring hindi humuhupa. The initial shock had given way to a gnawing ache, a constant companion. Pero kailangan niyang bumangon. Para kay Alon. Para kay Amara. Nagbukas ulit ang sari-sari store ni Mama Salve, kinabukasan matapos ang bagyo. Malaki ang naging pinsala sa Isla Estrella, pero tulad ng dati, ang mga taga-isla, matitibay. Nagtutulungan. Anak, kumain ka na muna, sabi ni Mama Salve, inabutan siya ng mainit na pandesal na bagong hango mula sa lumang pugon na bato sa likod ng tindahan. Their small bakery, a side business to the store, was famous for its tinapay. Payat ka na. Helena forced a small bite. Walang lasa. Salamat, Maki. Yung dalawa, nasa loob po, naglalaro. Sinusubukan kong pasayahin. Mama Salve sighed, wiping her hands on her apron. Mahirap yan, Helena. Alam ko. Pero nandito lang ako, ha? Hindi kita pababayaan. Tumango lang si Helena. Ano pa nga bang sasabihin niya? Nagsimula siyang tumulong-tulong ulit sa tindahan, trying to keep her mind busy. Nag-aayos ng mga paninda, naglilinis, nag-aasikaso ng mga bumibili. Pero kahit anong gawin niya, bumabalik ang alaala ni Jerome. Yung tawa niya. Yung mga pangako. Yung sakit. Isang hapon, habang nagtitiklop siya ng mga bagong dating na damit na ipapautang, narinig niya ang boses ng mga anak niya mula sa maliit na kwarto sa likod ng tindahan. They were singing. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Their voices, though still childish, blended in a surprisingly sweet harmony. Si Alon may medyo mas malalim na tono. Si Amara mataas at malambing. Napangiti si Helena, isang tunay na ngiti, for the first time in what felt like ages. Ito, yun. Ito ang pag-asa niya. Lumapit siya sa pinto, sumilip. Nakaupo sila sa sahig, magkaharap. Si Alon, ginagawang parang mikropono ang isang lumang flashlight. Si Amara, pumipikit-pikit pa habang kumakanta, parang feel na feel ang moment. A wave of kilig nang ina-washed over Helena. Ang mga anak niya. Ang dalawang bituin niya. Sa kabila ng lahat, nandyan pa rin sila, nagbibigay liwanag. Alon's you. Kuya, galing natin, sabi ni Amara pagkatapos nilang kumanta. Pumapalakpak pa siya. Ngumiti si Alon. Mas maganda boses mo ngayon, Amara. Siyempre. Kasi masaya ako pag kumakanta tayo. Gusto ni Alon na laging masaya si Amara. Ayaw niyang nakikitang umiiyak ang kapatid niya, o si Mama. Simula nung umalis si Papa, lagi silang malungkot. Lalo na si Mama. Nakikita niya minsan si Mama na umiiyak ng tahimik sa gabi, akala niya tulog na sila. Kinuha ni Alon yung lumang microphone toy nila. Medyo sira na, pero gumagana pa naman pag sinwerte. Bigay pa to ni Papa dati nung Pasko. Papa. Naaalala pa rin ni Alon si Papa, pero parang iba na. Parang may galit na unti-unting tumutubo sa puso niya. Bakit niya sila iniwan? Bakit niya pinaiyak si Mama at si Amara? Tara, kuya, kantahin natin yung Bahay Kubo, aya ni Amara. CJ. Nagsimula ulit silang kumanta. Yung mga paborito nilang children's songs, tapos yung mga natututunan nila sa eskwela. Maya-maya, naisipan ni Alon, Amara, kunan kaya kita ng video. Para mapanood ni Mama. Sige, kuya. Game. Kinuha ni Alon yung luma nilang tablet. Medyo basag na yung screen pero gumagana pa naman. Tinutok niya kay Amara. Okay, 1, 2, 3, sing. Amara, with all the confidence of a superstar, started singing para kay Nanay, a local folk song they both loved. Her voice was clear, full of emotion. Alon found himself singing along softly, providing a quiet harmony. Hindi nila alam, nakasilip pala si Helena sa pinto, luha na naman ang namumuo sa mga mata. Pero this time, it wasn't just sadness. May halong pagmamalaki. Pag-asa. Helena's see you. The town fiesta for their patron saint was approaching. Kahit simple lang ang buhay sa Isla Estrella, pag fiesta, nagiging masaya ang lahat. May mga palaro, perya, at syempre, kantahan sa plaza. Nag-set up si Mama Salve ng maliit na pwesto ng halo-halo sa tapat ng tindahan. Para pandagdag kita, anak. Saka para may libangan ka na rin. Helena helped, grating ice, preparing the sweet beans, lech flan, and ubi. The familiar routine was comforting. Nakikita niya ang mga kababayan nila bumabati, nakikipagkwentuhan. For a while, she could almost forget the gaping hole in her life. Isang gabi, habang nagliligpit sila ni Mama Salve, may tumawag sa pangalan niya. Si Imreth Reyes, ang music teacher nila Alon at Amara sa eskwela. Helena! Nakita mo na ba? Excited na tanong ni Imreth Reyes, hawak ang cellphone. Ang alin po, ma'am? Yung video ng mga anak mo. Nagtrending sa TikTok dito sa tin. Nanlaki ang mata ni Helena. Po. Anong video? Imreth Reyes showed her the phone. It was the video Alon took of Amara singing para kay Nanay, with Alon harmonizing. Simple lang ang kuha, medyo shaki pa nga. Pero ang boses ng mga bata malinaw, tagos sa puso. Someone, probably one of their classmates, parents, had uploaded it, may mga comments na. Ang gagaling naman ng mga batang to. Future singers. Nakakaiyak yung kanta, lalo na boses nila. Saan to sa Isla Estrella? Ang cute ng twins. #Isla Estrella Gems #support local talent. Hindi makapaniwala si Helena. Her children trending. Tingnan mo, Helena, sabi ni Emreth Reyes, may ngiti sa labi. Sabi ko na nga ba, may talent yang mga anak mo. Lalo na si Amara, mana sa'yo ang boses. Naalala ni Helena nung kabataan niya. Mahilig din siyang kumanta. Sumasali sa mga amateur singing contest sa barangay. Pero nung dumating si Jerome, unti-unti niyang kinalimutan. May nag-share na nga sa group ng barangay natin sa Facebook, dagdag pa ng isang kapitbahay na nakiusyoso. Lahat proud sa Estrella Twins. Estrella Twins. The name echoed in Helena's mind. Her two little stars. That night, after putting Alon and Amara to bed, Helena watched the video again and again on her own old phone, the screen cracked but still functional. Tears streamed down her face, but this time, they were tears of different kind. Pag-asa. Maybe, just maybe, this was a sign in new beginning. Yung lumang microphone toy na bigay ni Jerome, naisip niyang itapon na. Pero ngayon, parang nagkaroon ito ng bagong kahulugan. It wasn't just a remnant of a painful past. It was a symbol of a potential future. Isang di inaasahang pamana na maaaring magbukas ng bagong pinto para sa kanila. A small, flickering candle of hope had been lit in the darkness. It wasn't much, but for Helena, a mother fighting for her children, it was enough to hold on to. Jerome's C. The flickering lights of the Isla Estrella night market barely registered. Si Jerome, nakatayo sa gilid, medyo malayo sa ingay ng mga tindahan at tawanan ng mga tao, his arms crossed, a scowl etched on his face. He felt out of place. Ilang linggo na rin siyang wala sa islang to, pero parang ang tagal na. Akala niya, pagbalik niya, everything would be easier. He watched as Alon and Amara, now dubbed the Estrella Twins, inside the local online community, finished a song on makeshift stage set up near the basketball court. Palakpakan ang mga tao. May mga kumukuha ng video gamit ang cellphone. He saw Helena standing at the side, proud but tired smile on her face. Proud. The word pricked at him. Dapat siya ang nandoon, katabi ni Helena, proud father. Pero siya ang umalis. Siya ang nang iwan. They're good, no. A slick voice cut through his thoughts. Si Ing Velasco, a small-time talent manager from the city who had somehow caught wind of the twins' viral video. Siya ang kasama ni Jerome gayon, suot ang press-on smile at ang uniform ng mga stage parents, branded shirt, shades kahit gabi, at laging may hawak na phone. Naman! Anak ko yan, Jerome said, trying to sound nonchalant, but there was a tremor in his voice. Selos. Gulat. Takot. Naghahalo-halo sa dibdib niya. Selos, kasi parang ang saya na nila kahit wala siya. Gulat, kasi hindi niya akalain na sisikat ng ganito ang mga bata dahil lang sa isang simpleng video. At takot-takot na baka tuluyan na siyang mawala ng lugar sa buhay nila. Exactly. Your kids. And with the right management, Velasco said, patting Jerome's shoulder, they could be bigger. National, even. Pero, yun nga, kailangan ng parental consent. Full cooperation. Jerome knew what Velasco was hinting at. Ito ang dahilan kung bakit siya bumalik. Nung una, nung napanood niya yung video na pinasa sa kanya ng isang kaibigan, inisip niya, so what? Pero nung sunod-sunod na ang views, ang shares, ang comments nung may mga local radio stations na nag-feature sa kanta doon na pumasok si Velasco. Nakita ang potential. Nakita ang pera. At si Jerome, naubos na ang perang tinanggay niya. Akala niya, sapat na iyon para makapagsimula ulit sa syudad. Nagkamali siya. Mabilis na naubos sa mga maling desisyon sa mga pekeng kaibigan. Now, he was back, not out of remorse, but out of desperation. Anong kailangan kong gawin? Jerome asked, his voice low. Velasco grinned. Simple lang. We assert your rights as the father. We show them na you're back, ready to support them. We become a team. He pulled out a folded document from his leather satchel. Ito, contract. Standard lang. Gives me exclusive rights to manage the Estrella twins. And of course, a fair share for you as the parent. A fair share. Jerome stared at the contract. Hati. Parang yung pamilya niya, hati na rin. After the twins' short performance, Velasco, with Jerome in tow, approached Helena. Helena, right? Velasco said, extending a hand, all charm and business. Ramon Velasco. Talent manager. I'm sure you've heard about the buzz your kids are making. Helena looked wary, her eyes darting from Velasco to Jerome, then back. She didn't take his hand. Ano pong kailangan nyo? She asked, her voice polite but firm. Well, I'm here with Jerome, Velasco gestured towards him. Their father. And we're here to discuss their future. Their bright future. Jerome saw the flash of pain, then anger, in Helena's eyes when she looked at him. He couldn't meet her gaze. Nakakahiya. Pero kailangan niyang panindigan to. Wala tayong kailangang pag-usapan, Helena said, her voice dangerously quiet. Lalo na kung kasama ka, she added, finally looking straight at Jerome. The accusation in her eyes was like a physical blow. Now, Helena, Velasco interjected smoothly. Let's be civil. Jerome is still their father. He has rights. In fact, Velasco's smile widened, he's considering getting full custody. Napaatras si Helena, parang sinampal. Ano? Anong karapatan mo, Jerome? Pagkatapos mo kaming iwan? Pagkatapos mong kunin lahat? Her voice rose, attracting the attention of some onlookers. Mama! Si Alon, lumapit, kasunod si Amara na nakahawak sa lailayan ng damit ng kuya niya. Their eyes were wide, confused. Kids, halika kayo dito kay Papa, Jerome said, trying to force a smile. He knelt down, opening his arms. Amara looked hesitant, but Alon stood his ground, his small face set in a frown that mirrored Helena's. Bakit ka bumalik, Papa? Alon asked, his voice surprisingly steady for a 7-year-old. Iniwan mo kami. Jerome flinched. The directness of the question, from his own son, cut deeper than Helena's anger. Anak, I made a mistake. Babawi si Papa. Mistake? Helena scoffed. Jerome, umalis ka na. Wala ka nang babalikan dito. That's where you're wrong, Helena, Velasco said, stepping forward, placing a hand on Jerome's shoulder as if to show solidarity. The law is on our side. And with the twins' rising popularity, mas maganda kung buo ang pamilya. For their image. Image? Helena's voice dripped with sarcasm. Ang kapal ng mukha niyo. The confrontation was getting heated. People were starting to gather, whispering. Jerome felt a bed of sweat trickle down his temple. This wasn't how he imagined it. Akala niya, Helena would be desperate, maybe even grateful for his return, lalo na't may opportunity siyang dala. Maya-maya, a local micro-influencer, one who had been covering the twins' story, approached with a phone, already live streaming on TikTok. Jerome, totoo po bang nagbabalik na kayo para suportahan ang inyong mga anak, ang Estrella twins? Jerome was caught off guard. He looked at Velasco, who gave him a subtle nod. Nandito ako para sa mga anak ko. Mahal na mahal ko sila. He tried to sound sincere, but even to his own ears, it sounded hollow. Helena just stared at him, her eyes blazing. Later that night, after another performance, this time, a more organized one, orchestrated gift Velasco, complete with matching outfits for the twins, Alon found Helena sitting alone in their small living room, staring blankly at the wall. The remnants of the fiesta's forced gaiety seemed to mock her. Alon sat beside her, leaning his head on her arm. Mama! Helena stroked his hair. Yes, anak. Pipiliin mo pa rin po ba si Papa kahit iniwan niya tayo? The question, so innocent yet so profound, shattered the last of Helena's composure. She pulled Alon into a tight hug, tears finally falling freely. How could a child understand the complexities of adult betrayal? How could she explain that the man who was supposed to love and protect them was the same man causing them so much pain? Jerome, staying at cheap lodging house arranged by Velasco, replayed the day's events in his mind. He saw Alon's accusing eyes, Helena's fury. He felt the weight of the folded contract in his pocket. It felt like chain, not a lifeline. He had come back, a ghost from their past, hoping to reclaim something. But what he found was a family slowly, painfully, trying to heal without him. And his return, instead of mending, was threatening to tear them apart all over again. The zealous he felt earlier was now mixed with growing unease. Takot. Takot na baka, sa ginagawa niya, lalo lang siyang itakwil ng mga taong dapat sana'y pinakamahalaga sa kanya. Helena's see you. Ang mga sumunod na araw ay naging isang blur ng tensyon at alitan. Jerome, palaging kasama si Velasco, kept trying to assert his presence. He'd show up at Mama Salve's store, trying to talk to the kids, always with Velasco hovering like a vulture, phone ready to capture any touching father-children reunion for social media. Galit. Yun ang nangingibabaw sa dibdib ni Helena. Galit hindi lang kay Jerome, kundi pati sa sarili niya for ever trusting him, for being so blind. Pero kasabay ng galit, may sumisibol na paglaban. Hindi siya papayag na basta na lang agawin sa kanya ang mga anak niya, lalo na ng taong walang ginawa kundi saktan sila. Hindi ako papayag, ma, sabi ni Helena kay Mama Salve isang gabi, habang nagtitimpla sila ng kape. The aroma usually comforted her, pero ngayon, parang wala itong epekto. Hindi niya pwedeng kunin sina Alon at Amara. Mama Salve put comforting hand on her shoulder. Alam ko, anak. At lalaban tayo. Pero kailangan natin ng tulong. Dito na pumasok si Atty. Lorna Reyes, isang batang abogada mula sa Karatigbayan na may advocacy para sa mga karapatan ng kababaihan at mga bata. Nabalitaan niya ang sitwasyon ni Helena through the grapevine of the Island Moms Facebook group, kung saan naging mainit na usapan ang biglaang pagbabalik ni Jerome at ang e-management ni Velasco sa Estrella Twins. Helena, I've reviewed your situation, Atty. Reyes said during their first meeting, her voice calm but firm. Abandonment is a strong ground. And his sudden reappearance, conveniently when the children are gaining popularity, will not look good for him in court. Nagkaroon ng kaunting pag-asa si Helena. But the thought of a legal battle was daunting. Ang gastos. Ang stress. Huwag kang mag-alala sa bayad, Helena, sabi ni Atty. Reyes, as if reading her mind. Pro bono ito. Ang mahalaga, maipaglaban natin ang karapatan mo at ng mga bata. The lawyer even started doing a live streams on her own page, discussing parental rights and child support, subtly alluding to Helena's case without naming names, which garnered massive support from women online. May mga nag-comment pa, we're with you, #laban ni nanay. Samantala, Velasco was doubling down on his strategy. He arranged more gigs for Alon and Amara, small mall shows in the nearby city, guestings on local radio programs. Sa bawat pagkakataon, pinipilit nilang isama si Jerome sa picture, projecting an image of a reunited, supportive family. The kids were confused and increasingly unhappy. Amara would often tear-sigh before the performance, missing the simple joy of just singing with her kuya in the room. Alon became more withdrawn, his eyes holding resentment that pained Helena to see. Mama, ayoko na po, sabi ni Alon isang gabi, pagkatapos ng isang particularly grueling day of practice and a forced photo op with Jerome. Gusto ko na lang kumanta kasi gusto ko, hindi kasi kailangan para sa picture ni Papa. Helena hugged him tightly. Alam ko, anak. Konting tiis na lang, ha? Aayusin ni Mama to. The breaking point came during a live TikTok interview arranged by Velasco. The influencer, the same one from the night market, was asking Alon and Amara about their reunion with their father. Velasco was beaming in the background, Jerome standing awkwardly beside him. So, Alon, Amara, masaya ba kayo na kasama niyo na ulit ang papa niyo? The influencer asked, her voice overly cheerful. Amara looked down, fidgeting with her dress. Alon looked straight at the camera, his small face serious. Hindi po, Alon said, his voice clear and unwavering. Natahimik ang lahat, pati si Velasco at Jerome. Mas masaya po kami nung kami lang ni Mama. Kasi si Mama, hindi kami iniwan. Then Amara, as if gaining courage from her brother, looked up, tears welling in her eyes. Opo. Ayaw po namin kay Papa. Sinungaling siya. Pinaiyak niya si Mama. Kinuha niya yung pera namin. The influencer's smile froze. Velasco longed for the phone, trying to end the live stream, but it was too late. The raw, honest words of the children, broadcasted live, were out. Agad na nag-viral ang clip. The internet exploded. Hashtags like #ProtectEstrella-Twins, #NoToFathers like Jerome, and #Team Helena trended not just locally, but even got some national attention. The narrative Velasco and Jerome tried so hard to build crumbled in minutes. Public sympathy overwhelmingly shifted to Helena and the twins. Ang mga stage parents na dati pumupuri kay Jerome, biglang nag-iba ng tono. Helena watched the clip, her heart swelling with a mixture of pain for her children's public display of grief, and an immense, overwhelming paghanga. Her babies. Her brave, little warriors. They chose her. Publicly. Unashamedly. The next day, Attorney Reyes called. Helena, this is it. This is the leverage we needed. Public opinion is massively on your side. And the children themselves have spoken. I'm filing the petition for sole custody, and we can also file for temporary protection order against Jerome if he continues to harass you. Holding the phone, Helena felt a surge of strength. This wasn't just her fight anymore. It was her children's too. And she wouldn't let them down. That afternoon, she found Mama Salve in the bakery, kneading dough. Ma, tutuloy na po namin yung kaso. Mama Salve stopped kneading, wiped her floor-dusted hands, and looked at Helena. Sigurado ka na, anak? Opo, mapara sa mga bata. Mama Salve nodded slowly, then smiled. It was a smile of pride. She took Helena's hands. Kung kailangan mong magsalita sa korte o sa media, tandaan mo to, she said, her grip firm. Hindi mo kailangang sumigaw para marinig. Your truth is enough. Sapat ka na sa totoo, Helena. Sapat ka bilang ina. Helena felt tears prick her eyes. Mama Salve's words were a balm to her weary soul. Later that week, Attorney Reyes handed Helena the document. A copy of the petition filed in court. Stamped and official. It felt heavy in her hands. Parang isang malaking bato na inalis sa dibdib niya. This was more than just a legal paper, it was declaration. A full stop to the pain Jerome had caused, yes, but also a new sentence, new paragraph, new chapter waiting to be written. The fight was far from over, but for the first time in a long time, Helena felt a flicker of real, unadulterated hope. Katarungan. Para sa isang ina. Para sa mga anak niya. May mga nag-design pa ng T laban ng ina badge sa Facebook, the simple graphic of a mother holding 2 stars, which many women in their community started using as their profile picture in solidarity. The support was overwhelming. Helena wasn't alone. She looked at her reflection in the small, cracked mirror in the room. Her hair, once long and flowing, was now often tied in messy bun, a testament to her harried life. But her eyes held new fire. The fire of a mother ready to protect her young at all costs. Helena's see you. The day of the court hearing felt like the longest day of Helena's life. Ang bawat segundo parang isang oras. She wore a simple, borrowed dress from Mama Salve, one that made her look presentable but not flashy. Attorney Reyes was by her side, the pillar of calm confidence. Alon and Amara were left in Mama Salve's care, shielded from the courtroom drama. Jerome was there, of course, with Velasco, who now looked less slick and more stressed. The viral video of the twins had done irreparable damage to their carefully constructed narrative. The judge, a stern-looking woman in her late 50s, listened intently to both sides. Attorney Reyes presented her case with precision. Jerome's abandonment, his sudden return only when the children gained fame, the emotional distress he caused, and most powerfully, the children's own testimonies from the live stream. When it was Jerome's lawyer's turn, they tried to paint Helena as an unfit mother, someone who was using the children for her own gain. But their arguments sounded hollow, desperate. Jerome himself, when called to testify, fumbled, contradicted himself, and couldn't look Helena in the eye. Helena, when it was her turn to speak, simply told her truth. Her voice trembled at first, but as she spoke of her love for her children, of the nights she stayed up worrying, of the small joys they shared, her voice grew stronger. She didn't shout, she didn't accuse with venom. She just laid bare her heart as a mother. She remembered Mama Salve's words, "Sapat ka na sa totoo." The wait for the judge's decision was agonizing. Helena sat with attorney Reyes in a small waiting area, her hands clasped tightly in her lap, silently praying. Finally, they were called back in. After careful consideration of all testimonies and evidence presented, the judge began, her voice echoing in the quiet courtroom. This court finds that it is in the best interest of the children, Alon and Amara Reyes, to remain under the sole custody of their mother, Dumas Helena Santos. Relief. Pure, unadulterated relief washed over Helena, so potent it almost buckled her knees. Tears welled up, blurring her vision. Attorney Reyes squeezed her hand, a triumphant smile on her face. Furthermore, the judge continued, looking sternly at Jerome, Jerome Reyes is granted supervised visitation rights, twice a month, under conditions to be set forth at this court. Any attempt to exploit the children for commercial gain without the express consent of Ethel Santos will be met with severe penalties. Helena finally let out a sob, a sound of release, of victory. Tagumpay. It was hers. It was theirs. Jerome's short. From across the courtroom, Jerome watched Helena. He saw her tears, heard her sob. There was no triumph in him, only dull ache of defeat and a crushing sense of shame. Velasco was already muttering about appeals, about damage control, but Jerome barely heard him. He saw Helena stand, saw her lawyer congratulate her. He saw the strength in her posture, a strength he had tried to break, but had only managed to temper into steel. His children, his Estrella twins, were no longer his to claim. He had lost. Not just a court case, but something far more valuable. He had thrown it all away for money that was now gone, for a future that would never materialize. He was left with nothing but the bitter taste of regret. Helena's CU. Paglabas nila ng courtroom, sinalubong sila ng ilang miyembro ng Key Island Moms Group, holding small banners that read, "Justice for Helena," and "We support the Estrella twins." Mama Salve was there, her eyes shining with unshed tears, and she pulled Helena into a fierce, loving hug. "Sabi ko sa'yo, anak, mananalo tayo," Mama Salve whispered, her voice thick with emotion. The news of Helena's victory spread like wildfire across Isla Estrella. That evening, the small barangay plaza, usually quiet on weekday, was filled with people. Someone had set up a small sound system, and the twins' viral song, "Para Kay Nanay," was playing. It felt like mini fiesta. Mama Salve, beaming with pride, had even hung a hand-painted banner outside her sari-sari store and bakery, proud of Helena ampersand the Estrella twins. Our island pride. Yung dati niyang tayangs ng halo-halo, ngayon parang naging headquarters ng mga supporters. A local D station, hearing about that viral mom who won custody, invited Helena and the twins for a guest appearance on a morning show. Velasco, in a last-ditch effort to salvage something, had tried to get Jerome included, but the Z station, aware of the court's decision and the public sentiment, politely declined. "Yes, Helena, we'd love to have you and the twins," the producer said over the phone. "We can even arrange for another popular child singer to do duet with them. It'll be great exposure." Helena thought about it, the spotlight. The fame. It was tempting. It could mean better life for her children. But then she remembered the fear in Amara's eyes before a forced performance, Alon's quiet resentment. Salamat po sa imbitasyon, Helena said, her voice firm but polite. Pero kung okay lang po, kami lang po sanang tatlo. At kakantahin po namin yung mga kanta na gusto talaga ng mga anak ko. Simple lang po. Yun po ang totoo namin. The producer, surprised by her lack of artistic ambition, agreed. The day of the Zihi appearance, Helena found herself more nervous than the kids. Backstage, the bright lights and bustling crew were overwhelming. Alon and Amara, dressed in simple but clean clothes she had carefully chosen, were surprisingly calm. Mama, okay ka lang? Alon asked, holding her hand. Amara clutched her other hand. Helena knelt, taking a deep breath. Okay lang, mga anak. Kinakabahan lang ng konti si Mama. She looked at them, her heart swelling with pride. Remember what I told you. Just sing from your heart. Para sa isa't isa. Para sa mga naniniwala sa atin. She taught them simple breathing exercise, just like Mama Salve used to teach her before her own amateur singing contests decades ago. Inhale, exhale. When their names were called, Helena walked onto the brightly lit stage, holding her children's hands. The applause was warm, genuine. She saw the cameras, the studio audience. For a moment, she felt the pang of her old stage fright. But then she looked at Alon and Amara. Their faces were shining, not with the forced smiles from Velasco's gigs, but with a quiet, confident joy. They were not just the Estrella twins tonight. They were Alon and Amara, her children, singing because they loved to. The spotlight was on them. But this time, it felt different. It wasn't a harsh, exposing glare. It was warm, like an embrace. At sa gitna ng entablado, sa ilalim ng mga ilaw, alam ni Helena na ang spotlight na iyon, hindi na para sa anino ni Jerome, o sa ambisyon ni Velasco. It was for them. For her. For her children. For their shared victory. Ang yakap ng tagumpay, sa wakas, naramdaman na niya. Walang halong pait, walang halong takot. Puro pagmamahal at pasasalamat. Alon's you. The easy guesting was fun. Masaya, kasi si Mama ang kasama nila, hindi si Ellie Velasco na laging may sinasabi, o si Papa na parang laging galit o malungkot. Kumanta sila ni Amara ng mga paborito nilang kanta. Yung Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star na medyo binago nila ang tono, at syempre, yung Para kay Nanay. Nakita ni Alon na napaluha si Mama habang kumakanta sila, pero this time, ngiti ang kasama ng luha niya. Pag-uwi nila sa Isla Estrella, parang fiesta pa rin. May mga banderitas pa na puti na nakasabit sa ilang kalsada, at yung banner ni Lola Salve sa tindahan, mas lalong pinaganda. Ang daming bumabati sa kanila. Ang galing nyo, Estrella Twins, sabi ng mga tao. Nakakatuwa, pero medyo nakakapagod din. One afternoon, few days after the tea show, Alon found Amara in their small room, humming. May hawak siyang papel at krayola, pero hindi siya nagdodrawing. Amara, anong ginagawa mo? Tanong ni Alon. Kuya, may naisip ako, sabi ni Amara, ang mga mata niya nagniningning. Gawa tayo ng bagong kanta. Para kay Mama. Surprise! Nagustuhan ni Alon ang ideya. Usually, si Amara ang mas magaling sa melody, siya naman sa words. But this time, Amara had a specific idea for the lyrics too. Gusto ko, yung kanta, tungkol sa hindi tayo iniwan ni Mama. Tumango si Alon. That was the most important thing. Si Mama, hinding-hindi sila iniwan. They worked on it secretly for a few days. Ginagamit nila yung lumang tablet para i-record ang mga boses nila, trying out different harmonies. Yung luma nilang karaoke machine, yung bigay pa ni Papa dati pero halos hindi na nila ginagamit mula nung umalis siya, nilabas nila ulit. This time, it felt different. Hindi na siya paalala ng malungkot na nakaraan, kundi tool para sa bago nilang sorpresa. Nagpatulong sila kay Lola Salve para sa technical side. Si Lola Salve, tuwang-tuwa sa sikreto nila. Siguradong matutuwa ang mama niyo dyan, she'd said, winking. Helena's see you. Life slowly settled into new Gavakidath. Ay bittersweet Tavakidath. May kirot pa rin sa puso ni Helena tuwing maaalala niya si Jerome, pero hindi na iyon ang nangingibabaw. Ang pumalit ay ang init ng pagmamahal ng mga anak niya, ang suporta ng ina niya, at ang respeto ng kanilang maliit na komunidad. The supervised visitations with Jerome started. Awkward sila nung una. Si Jerome, parang nahihiya, hindi alam kung paano kikilos. Ang mga bata, medyo distant pa rin, pero unti-unti, nagiging mas komportable na rin, lalo na si Amara. Helena made sure to be civil, for the children's sake. The court had ordered him to provide regular child support, and to her surprise, he was complying. Maybe, just maybe, he was capable of some change. Pero para kay Helena, ang pinto sa puso niya para kay Jerome bilang asawa, sarado na. Ang mahalaga na lang ay ang kapakanan ng mga anak nila. One evening, Helena was tiredly wiping down the counter at Mama Salve's store. It had been a long day. May order na maraming tinapay para sa isang kasal sa kabilang barangay. Mama, Mama! Tawag ni Alon at Amara, sabay hila sa kamay niya. Halika po, may surprise kami. Surprise? Ano na naman yan? Helena chuckled, letting them lead her to their small living area behind the store. The room was dimly lit, with only a single lampara casting a soft glow. The old karaoke machine was set up. Alon held the microphone, Amara standing beside him, beaming. This is for you, Mama, Amara announced. Then, they started to sing. It was a new song, one Helena had never heard before. The melody was simple, sweet, and their voices blended with such pure, heartfelt harmony. Sa bawat paggising, ikaw ang liwanag. Sa aming pag-iyak, ikaw ang yakap. Hindi kami iniwan sa dilim at unos. Mama, mahal ka namin higit pa sa lubos. The lyrics were simple, almost childlike, but they struck Helena straight in the heart. Each word was a testament to their journey, to her struggles, to their unbreakable bond. Para kay nanay, hindi mo kami iniwan. That was the refrain, sung with so much love and conviction. Tears streamed down Helena's face as she listened. These weren't tears of sadness or anger anymore. Hindi rin tuluhan ng tagumpay sa korte o sadsiyi. This was different. This was paghilom. Healing. Nung matapos ang kanta, katahimikan ang bumalot sa kwarto, bago ito binasag ng mahinang palakpak mula sa may pintuan. Si Mama Salve, nakatayo doon, nakangiti, may luha rin sa mata. Alon and Amara rushed to Helena, hugging her tightly. Nagustuhan mo po, Mama? Tanong ni Amara, ang mukha nakasiksik sa tagiliran niya. Helena couldn't speak. She just nodded, hugging them back, her body shaking with emotion. She kissed the tops of their heads, inhaling their familiar scent. Later that night, after the kids were asleep, Helena sat alone in the quiet. The sounds of Isla Estrella, the distant waves, the chirping crickets, the occasional bark of his dog, were a comforting backdrop. Kinuha niya ang cellphone niya. Hindi para mag-check ng social media, kundi para panoorin ulit yung video na ginawa ng mga anak niya. Lola Salve had secretly recorded their surprise performance. She watched it, and for the first time in what felt like an eternity, Helena cried without pain. She cried because she was loved. Truly, unconditionally loved. Yes, I her two little stars. The stage of their public life might have dimmed for now, the applause in the plaza might have faded, pero ang ilaw sa puso niya, mas lalo pang lumakas. Ang 8th SSQ ng drama nila ni Jerome ay nagsara na, pero ang pinto para sa bagong kabanata ng buhay nilang mag-iina, bukas na bukas. She thought about her hair. Matagal na niyang gustong pagupitan to let go of the past. Maybe tomorrow, she'd finally do it, shorter cut. A new beginning. Sa likod ng lahat ng palakpakan, ng lahat ng ingay, ng lahat ng sakit, ang natira ay ang tahimik na musika ng pagmamahal ng isang ina at ng kanyang dalawang bituin. At yun, para kay Helena, ay higit pa sa sapat. Mga minamahal kong mambabasa. Una sa lahat, mula po sa kaibuturan ng aking puso, maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay sa kwento ni na Helena, Alon at Amara. Bawat chapter na natatapos, bawat komento at reaksyon, kahit sa isip nyo lang, ay malaking bagay po para sa isang manunulat na tulad ko. Salamat sa pag-aalay niyo ng oras at emosyon para samahan sila sa kanilang paglalakbay. Habang isinusulat ko ang iiniwan kasabay ng pagkulog hanggang sa isalikod ng palakpakan, para ko na rin kasamang tumawa, umiyak, nagalit at umasa sina Helena. Naramdaman ko ang bigat ng bawat desisyon, ang hapdi ng bawat pagkakanulo, at ang tamis ng bawat munting tagumpay. Nais kong bigyang buhay ang isang kwentong hindi lang tungkol sa romansa o kilig, kundi tungkol din sa tibay ng isang ina, sa walang kapantay na pagmamahal sa mga anak, at sa liwanag na kayang ibigay ng pag-asa kahit sa pinakamadilim na sandali. Pinangarap kong maipakita sa kwentong ito ang ilang mahahalagang aral at mensahe. Ang lakas ng isang ina ay walang kapantay. Si Helena, sa kabila ng lahat ng pinagdaanan, ay simbolo ng katatagan. Hindi siya perpekto, nagkakamali rin, nasasaktan, pero hindi siya sumusuko para sa kanyang mga bituin, sina Alon at Amara. Ang tunay na pag-ibig ay nagpapalaya, hindi nananakit. Ang pag-ibig na nagdudulot ng takot, pagdududa, at sakit ay hindi tunay na pagmamahal. Ang pag-ibig na tunay ay nagpapagaling, nagbibigay lakas, at nagtutulak sa ating maging mas mabuting tao. May pag-asa kahit sa pinakamadilim na unos. Tulad ng bagyo sa simula ng kwento, darating ang mga pagsubok na wawasak sa ating mundo. Ngunit tulad din ng pagsikat ng araw pagkatapos ng ulan, laging may pagkakataong bumangon, magsimula muli at makahanap ng bagong liwanag. Ang tinig ng katotohanan, gaano man kahina, ay maririnig. Hindi kailangang sumigaw para mapatunayan ang sarili. Ang pagiging totoo sa sarili at sa iba, ang paninindigan sa tama, iyan ang tunay na kapangyarihan. Sana po, sa paglalakbay ninyo kasama sina Helena, Alon, at Amara, may napulot kayong inspirasyon o kahit isang munting paalala na sa bawat pagsubok, may kakampi tayong pag-asa at pagmamahal. Kung ang kwentong ito ay nakaantig sa inyong puso, kahit sa maliit na paraan, inaanyayahan ko po kayong ibahagi ito sa inyong mga kaibigan, kapamilya, o kahit kanino na sa tingin nyo'y makakarelate o mangangailangan ng ganitong klaseng kwento. At higit sa lahat, nais ko pong marinig ang inyong saloobin. Ano ang pinakapumatak na eksena sa inyo? Sinong karakter ang pinakahinangaan o kinaasaran nyo? Anong aral ang baon nyo? Huwag po kayong mag-atubiling mag-iwan ng inyong mga komento at kanso, feelings impressions. Bawat salita mula sa inyo ay mahalaga. Muli, maraming salamat po. Hanggang sa susunod nating kwentuhan. Nagmamahal at nagpapasalamat. Ang inyong manunulat.